internet. It is Wednesday, the 30th of November, 2016. I've always thought unboxing videos on YouTube were an idea. I just didn't really get it until I needed to find out something about a particular product. And the first thing that I found was an unboxing of that product. And it actually became very, very useful for me. Having said that, I'd like to start doing unboxings on my channel, but I'm gonna do it my own little way. I'm gonna call it unboxing. It's not gonna follow any particular formula or any particular method. It's just gonna be when I get something, such as, well, I'm not gonna unbox this because this is my Joby Griptite Pro tablet giveaway. Still waiting on giving that away. I'll tell you how you can get that later. I've got something here which I'd like to unbox. The only thing that I want to say before we get into it is, Mum, if you're watching this, can you just stop watching it? Because what I'm about to unbox is your Christmas present. You actually know what this is anyway because you've asked for it, so... But yeah, maybe just quit it and then keep a bit of a surprise. What I've got in here, I'll just bring it in. So this is what I've got. It's large, but it's light. So this is a canvas print. It's from a company called The Canvas Factory. No affiliation with these people at all. I've got my own printing that I do through Zenfolio. I got sent something. I got an email saying, exclusive offer, give us a shot, give it a try. This canvas print is over 1 meter long and almost 1 meter high. I think it's 130 centimeters long and 90 high. Mum particularly liked a photo I took down at her beachfront house in Culburra, where you've been plenty of times. I took a photo of a blue bottle and Mum really liked it. I thought that was a great chance to try thecanvasfactory.com.au. Have a look how my unboxings are. I don't even own a Stanley knife, so instead I've got to use my 20 centimeter cook's knife. That is So there you go, nicely packaged. Might seem a bit silly talking about the packaging, but that is important when you're dealing with a canvas print. This has been packaged, I guess, reasonably well. There's slidage there in the box from side to side. It is in your old bubble wrap, so that's got a protective layer. Let's get this out of the box then. So, on a canvas print, these edges are always the telltale sign of whether it's a cheap canvas or whether it's a decent canvas. This was decent price, but I did have that discount voucher, so it made it quite cheap. But I just want to have a look at the edges first. I don't want to be overly critical, but they're already damaged on the edge, and it's not a great seam either. All right, well, there's the print. Let's stand this guy up and inspect the edges of the canvas. I'll just rest it up like that. It actually looks pretty good. Let's check the reverse side because that's also a telltale sign. String looks, I guess if you're not going to be moving it much, that's going to be strong enough. Quality of timber. For what it is and for how much it was, which I think it was 120 bucks. Don't hear that, Mum. Don't hear that. For that price, I'm going to say thumbs up. What's that there? Now I'm just looking at it so intensely because I want to see a fault. I think for that cost, I'm pretty stoked, and I think Mum's going to be happy. I'm going to give Canvas Factory a thumbs up on this one. Let's see if I can somehow manage to get you guys some coupon codes and then deliver some savings onto you people, because yeah, that's quite a good product for that cost. But I wouldn't pay 500 bucks for it, but for that discount, I think it's quite decent. Thank you, Canvas Factory, and that's been my first unboxing. Now, it is a bit of an day out there. Doesn't look like it's going to rain, but I want to get out. I might grab the Evolve skateboard and just maybe go down to Como or even maybe across the bridge to Oatley and just try to find somewhere cool. You're coming with. So in the space of time it's taken me to get out, the weather has changed a lot. It's dark and cloudy. I don't reckon it's gonna rain. Almost as if to mock me, I kind of get to where I sort of want it to be, and it's starting to rain. There is definitely some heavy drops of rain falling right now. The road is, I mean, my wheels were leaving trails then. That means it's getting pretty wet. But I want to get down below the bridge and have a look what I can find, if I can get access to the waterfront. Hello. There is a track down there, so there's definitely a way to do this. I've got to carry this board with me again. This is not the spot I wanted to be at. I kind of wanted to be more around the corner so that I wasn't looking at the bridge, because I want to see a sunset if it happens. And right now all I'm looking at is the rail bridge and the footbridge. But I tell you what, it's warm enough here to get this off and to tell you about NSD. So NSD this episode is Dexter Jones. I do like the graphic on this shirt. Myself and Dexter Jones go back a long way. Man, I seem to always start my NSDs with this same kind of spiel, but I'm a Sydney boy, but I moved to Adelaide. I moved to Adelaide for skateboarding. As silly as that sounds, it's another story I'll tell you another time, but when I arrived in a little town called Glenelg in Adelaide, I got a job at a restaurant. The guy in the restaurant played bass, told me about his band, Dexter Jones. We became good mates, still are to this day. You've met him actually, Ben Nash. He was here at, we went to the Malabar Walk, and then I showed you him DJing some stuff at the Austral in Adelaide. Well, Ben Nash is in Dexter Jones, has been for as long as the band's been in existence. I videoed all of their shows. I had a TRV 900 3CCD digital video camera. I'm gonna dig up, literally, from what I think anyway, from my labeling, literally the first time that I videoed Dexter Jones was at the Austral in Rundle Street, which is odd because that's where Ben Nash DJs today. This was a gig in 2003, Dexter Jones. Now, about getting to where I want to be. I can't really go this way, can I? Look, let's have a look. I guess I could do the rock jump thing, but I've got my skateboard and I'm a bit over that, to be honest. There was a path that I saw up there, so I'm going to go straight up the guts here and find that path. Alright, well that is the path. Now, where it goes, anybody's guess. Oh, there's a rock down here to sit on. Perfect. If you've watched my vlog before, you would have seen me sitting right on that side of the bridge at the far end, at the base, kind of like the opposite of where I am now, but the other side. Now I'm on this side. I just wanted to come over here because it's going to have a different perspective of the sunset happening. Earlier today, when I was doing the unboxing of the Canvas factory prints, I mentioned my Joby Grip-Tight Pro tablet, which I'm giving away, and I made mention that I'd show you what it is and how you can use it. So there's not much to it. Comes in two pieces, your little bendy tripod section and your little attachment screwy section. Not surprisingly, this bit screws into this bit, screws in like that, nice and tight. Then you've got a screw here which loosens this little doozy hacker, and that little doozy is where you put your iPad or a Samsung tablet or any kind of tablet. Fits in pretty nicely just like this. Then you close that little hammer back down, tighten it up, and that's it. That is now a perfect mount to set this up for a time lapse. Why do I keep telling you guys about this? I keep telling you because I've got one to give away. Joby sent me these, And I've kept one in a box, and I'm going to give it to one of you guys when we get to 500 subscribers. So how can you win it? Subscribe. Pretty easy. But if you already are subscribed, tell all your mates! And the more that subscribe, the quicker it happens. The quicker we get to 500, the quicker we give it away. So I'm going to shoot a time lapse using the Joby Grip Tight Pro tablet. I'm going to set it up down here. I like to set a timer during my time lapses just so I can keep a track on what's going on. Now I normally set it for half an hour. With the iPad, it shoots as much as it wants. How rad is that? It can shoot for like an hour, 2 hours, and then bump out a single file. But anyway, I'll set it for half an hour, and then I'll check it later on, and maybe I'll continue it past half an hour. But in the meantime, this morning I did my very first unboxing, and I decided to call it an unboxing to fit in with the whole "that's we're out of time" and my theme. So I think with a question and answer, I need to come up with an idea of what I'm going to call it, and I decided I'm going to call it Q and That's not to say that my answers are going to be my answers are going to be legit, but it just kind of rolls off the tongue nice instead of Q&A like everyone else does. I put the call out last episode, and I got a question from Patrick from Melbourne.
Hi Benon, I'm Patrick, also known as Digital Ninja on YouTube. Now my question is, as a freelance photographer, I'd like to know how you got your start in photography.
Patrick, thank you so much for your question. I got my start in music photography initially. My friends and I were going to see a band in Adelaide at the Gov, a band called Gyroscope. I decided to take my DSLR with me, but of course, you get to a venue and the security's like, "You can't bring that in here, dude. That's a professional camera." I argued with him so hardcore about what's the difference between this guy and my DSLR. The dude got so jack of me that he ended up saying, "I'm gonna turn around and look the other way, and if you're still there with that camera when I turn back around, I'm not gonna be a happy man." So the second he turned away, I just necked it straight into the venue. I had a ticket, necked it straight in with my camera. I photographed that gig, and then I thought, okay, that was cool, but what can I do with these photos now? Now that I've shot this thing, what can I do with it? So what I did was I sent it to the local music press. In Adelaide at the time, that was a music magazine called Rip It Up. I sent these photos to the editor. What was her name? What was the title? Anyway, her name was Marianne, but I can't recall her title, but I sent them to her, and she said, "Look, we love these photos, but we didn't send you there, so we can't run them. How about the next time you want to go to a gig, we send you there?" Rad. Hook me up. They sent me to this gig. I'm a big fan of the Tea Party, and it was a Jeff Martin acoustic set at the Grace Emily. They sent me there, and I supplied them the photos, and Marianne was like, "Man, these are the best photos we've had from anyone we've ever had photographing. We have a festival next weekend we want to send you to. We want to pay you to go and do this. We can't pay you much." I got $90 to shoot a whole day of a festival. But props to Rip It Up. Back in the day, they were the only people in Adelaide paying photographers. Now, after I turned those photos around, Marianne said to me, "We really want you as our only dude. We've got a bunch of other dudes doing this for nada. We want to get rid of them, and we want to pay you to do it." Rip It Up magazine was part of a publishing house. They had Rip It Up magazine. They had, I can't even remember the name. What the hell? The Adelaide Review, of course. And so the way I'd work my Fridays and Saturday nights, sometimes even Thursday nights, I would go and shoot these somewhat lousy social events where I'd get a bunch of people together for a quick photo. Then I would neck off to the next little social event, get a bunch more socials. Then I'd go and shoot this gig, which I probably wanted to go and shoot. Then I would do maybe the same again the night after. Basically, I'd be looking at earning anywhere between $100 and $150 a weekend to cover probably 2 music events and about 4 or 5 social events. At that point, I was working another job as a graphic designer. Fire, all these Q&Ums won't be this long, I can tell you now, but this one, good question, by the way, Patrick. I'm digging right in here. I was also working full-time as a graphic designer in a marketing role, and then I also had a second job working as a pizza chef in the restaurant that I first landed at when I met Ben Nash from Dexter Jones when I first landed in Adelaide. So I basically had 3 jobs, picked up another gig shooting for Triple M, Triple M's part of the Austereo network. These guys picked me up, cold called me and said, "We really want you to shoot for us." They were paying $100 a gig, so adding Rip It Up and Austereo, I was coming back with $400 to $500 a week, additional to my day job, plus additional to my night job at the restaurant. So I was smashing the money and having a great amount of fun. That's a detailed look at the start of it, because that was the question, but I'm not going to go any further in that history because it gets a little bit shady there. Pretty what happened with Rip It Up, but that's Q and for this episode. Thank you very much, Patrick, for your question. I hope it's helpful. I hope some sort of guidance for anyone who wants to start photography. I got to be honest though, music photography these days, it is overly saturated, and it's, here's my take on it. I reckon it's dead. I reckon what we need instead of having 30 press photographers in a pit for 3 songs, we need a network of tour photographers. We need a core group of tour photographers that a PR agency can say, all right, we need to have press photos from this show in Sydney. We want to pay you as the only dude that does it, and we will send you there to cover that show, and all the photos that you return, we will distribute them out to all the blogs and all the vlogs. And man, that goes against what I do. I'm happy to say that goes against everything that I do, because I have my own music publication and I shoot for it just like any other music photographer, in the pit, 3 songs and out. But aside from that, I also have the Tracer Tour stuff. So I've managed to, man, this is getting long and detailed. I'm going to cut it right there. Q and I was getting a bit but I started to get on a high horse then. That's how I got started in music photography. For next week, anyone wants to send a question, the way to do it is to email me a video of your question. Do it landscape, not portrait. Landscape works better for what this is. Send me the highest resolution you've got. Doesn't have to be 4K, but the best resolution you can handle on whatever camera or phone you've got. Email it to benon@givesaminute. That's BENON at GIVESAMINUTE.com. I'm looking for 2 questions next time, because I told you that this is going to increment each time, and I promise they won't be as long as that one. That was a ramble. Oh, also in the video, state your name and where you're from. It's been going for 32 minutes and it is raining. I don't know, should I stop it? See, the thing with the rain is it's moving across and it's not going to last here because that's all clear. I've got rain on that lens. I'm so worried about water getting on this lens that I haven't even bothered to look at this one. Looks like it's kind of dying off. Sun's peeking through up there. This time lapse has been going for 43 minutes. I'm gonna keep it going. Oh, this looks amazing. Wow, the sun came out in a big way. I had to stop that time lapse with the iPad because I'd auto-exposed and locked it onto the cloud area, and then the sun came out and it completely blew it out of whack. I was telling you before how when I arrived in Adelaide, I got a job in a restaurant. Why is that relevant right now? Above me on this hill in Oatley, there's a restaurant. I've been down here for about 2.5 to 3 hours. The guys that work there, they came down on their break. They're all in their clown pants and their jackets. I was explaining how I've been here for this long, and they were like, well, you know what, man? We've got some leftover ragu that we're gonna ditch. Now, why don't you come up there? Great views of what you're looking at. Go up there, have the ragu on the house, and everyone's happy. Man, so that's what we're gonna do right now. Oh, that's we're out of time.
Oh, hey, thanks for checking out Gives a Minute, my YouTube channel. It's the one you just watched. And if you liked it, there's a few things you can do. You could check out the previous minute here, a random minute there, or even the first minute there. Now, if you're a photographer like I am, you might get a kick out of my Lightroom 6 presets. And you should also subscribe to the channel so you can continue to see what I'm up to. And the social stuff, hit that up as well. You know you want to. I'm not going to do that this long this time. I've got a cold. Do all the things.